Tonight, thousands of XL customers are preparing to lose power again this weekend. The utility says a planned shutoff is likely beginning tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm Phil Lipoff.
I'm Jennifer Meckles. With very high winds and very dry conditions in the forecast, the idea here is to prevent a power line from sparking a fire. Roughly 18,000 customers in Boulder and Jefferson counties are now included in the latest map of potential shutoffs. Hasn't happened yet, potential. That is significantly scaled back from XL's previous estimate this morning and yesterday. XL says these planned potential shutoffs, if they do happen, it would happen around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And they warn it could take hours, even days, for the power to be fully restored. 9
News reporter Ria Jha is live for us in Golden tonight. And Ria, Golden was originally preparing for one of these power shutoffs, but they're no longer included on XL's mapping.
Yeah, Phil, that switch up is a change that many people here have experienced before, and they plan for a power outage not knowing whether it's going to happen or not. We spoke with the Golden Food Pantry over here that has scrambled to save hundreds of pounds of food every single time they receive one of these notices.
Do you want to do brats? What about bacon?
This isn't a grocery list.
I want to put some fruits.
At the Golden Pantry and Thrift, this is what preparing for a power outage looks like.
We have the potential to lose hundreds of thousands of pounds of food. That means that not only do we lose stuff, but we are then not able to feed our community.
Brittany LaRue
Perfect.
is the executive director of the food pantry.
And we have to make really tough decisions of, okay, in this fridge, what are we going to keep? What is our priority? Then it becomes a Tetris game to see how much you can fit in one cooler. I don't think she's gonna fit.
This
No.
isn't her first game of Tetris.
The moment we get those notifications, I mean, the stress level rises because there's this level of uncertainty.
4 times in the last 6 months,
This is from Excel, this is from December.
they've received notices about Excel's possible planned power shutoffs due to high winds and wildfire risk. On Friday, they received another one.
Once we have coolers filled up, we will call around to volunteers, we'll call around to some of our local restaurants.
Sometimes even sacrificing her own fridge.
I will call home and ask, hey, do we have any freezer or fridge space?
Whether the outage happens or not, they have to prepare the same way every time.
You don't know if it's gonna happen, you don't know when it's gonna happen. We are so ready for this wind season to be done.
Out of the 4 notices, the food pantry says they've only fully lost power once, and the executive director told me the worst part of all of this is having to unpack every single time, which again, they're gonna have to do tomorrow, but if they receive one of these notices, what else are they supposed to do? Reporting live in Golden, Ria Jha, 9 News.
All right, Ria, thank you. And that's why Corey is watching this very closely tonight, because this has been a theme over the last month or two.
Exactly, and it's the wind and the fire danger that's the main concern. I don't think we're going to see any of those tree snapping 75 to 100 mile per hour winds like we saw yesterday, but they're going to be pretty consistent and persistent throughout the day, and what I would call strong 45 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So that's what we're dealing with the critical fire weather all across the region, including all of the eastern plains and all the way up into some parts of the mountains. So we're looking at 45 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts tomorrow. Fire behavior will be very extreme should something get started. Here's the wind gust forecast. We're in the 40s here across the Front Range, so not as bad as yesterday, but still pretty strong. 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts in the mountains, and then another day. On Sunday, it'll shift out here to the eastern plains, but we'll still be involved in that strong wind all the way until about 9 o'clock. So tonight, we're kind of mild. We're on a warm day tomorrow, and the winds are going to kick back up. So I'll have more in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Corey, thank you. A wildfire in Nebraska that sent smoke here into Colorado today is now mapped at over 450,000 acres, according to the National Interagency Fire Center, and it's burning uncontained at this hour. It started late last night west of Lake McConaughey. The Arthur County Sheriff's Office says someone has now died as a result of it. Bob and Billy Stalker live just miles from where the fire is burning. They say it has been an entire community effort to fight this.
Our local volunteer fire department is only one of about 35 that have showed up for us. The local ranchers, the local farmers, they bring their water tankers and trucks and their box scrapers to do fire breaks. They've been working tirelessly all night long, and they're still asking for help.
The wildfire smoke was heaviest in areas like Greeley. The fire department there says it received a number of reports about the smoke and confirmed that there were no active fires within the city limits.
New tonight, the city of Boulder is shopping around looking for a new automated license plate reading camera system meant to help law enforcement with their investigations. Right now, the city uses Flock, but that company's been caught up in lots of controversy for how it has handled data in other jurisdictions. The city of Boulder says its contract with Flock was due for a renewal this month. They renegotiated terms as part of an extension while they take bids from other vendors. The city says as part of the new terms, Flock has agreed to updated data privacy and security requirements, monthly meetings to review Boulder-related data, and an opt-out provision that allows the city to get out of the extended contract with 30 days notice and no financial penalty. The city's 30 Flock cameras will stay online as Boulder takes bids. They also expect Flock to submit a bid. The city of Denver recently decided to replace Flock there. The breakdown followed a series of 9 News investigations that revealed the company placed Denver's tracking data on a national network accessible to law enforcement agencies that assisted immigration enforcement, and that the company had a secret partnership with the U.S. Border Patrol. When should ICE arrest a person who has an open criminal case? It's an issue that keeps popping up, with the latest example in Weld County.
The Republican district attorney there says he wants to prosecute defendants before they get deported. Here's 9 News reporter Aaron Adelson.
Dozens of Weld County cases will never go to trial because ICE has arrested the defendants, according to District Attorney Michael Rourke.
I am frustrated with how quickly that process is occurring.
We wanted to hear Rourke's thoughts after ICE announced this arrest of Arturo. According to an arrest affidavit, Greeley police arrested him around 3:30 Thursday morning for starting a brush fire during a red flag warning near the JBS plant. He was booked into the Weld County Jail and then never made it to court that same day because ICE took him into federal custody.
We have a whole category of cases that will never go resolved. There will never be justice and no accountability or vindication, depending upon which perspective you're looking from. And it's incredibly frustrating to me as the elected DA representing my community.
Rourke is a Republican. DAs who are Democrats have voiced similar concerns, like the Arapahoe County DA Amy Patton.
If someone's committed a crime in Arapahoe County, they should be held accountable.
And Adams County DA Brian Mason.
I worry about the chilling effect.
Rourke argues deportation before prosecution means defendants cannot prove their innocence, criminals don't get accountability, and victims don't get justice.
And it's frustrating when we're having to call victim after victim after victim who have been created in our communities and say, I'm sorry, we can't prosecute your case because the defendant is being deported. Incredibly frustrating.
ICE data shows the person from yesterday is now in the ICE detention facility in Aurora. An ICE spokesperson told 9 News Thursday's arrest happened because the person was in the country illegally and the agency prioritizes the removal of individuals who pose a threat to public safety, including those with criminal convictions or pending criminal charges. Aaron Adelson, 9 News.
Aaron, thank you. And when the Weld County DA calls victims to inform them that a defendant has been deported, he says he gets mixed reactions. Some people have told him they feel safer knowing that a person is far away, while others feel frustrated that a person is going free in another country.
We now know the name of a man found dead after an SUV exploded at a trailhead in Summit County. The coroner's office says this was 51-year-old William Bush, a man who lived in Dillon. He died after an explosion and subsequent fire at the Straight Creek trailhead last week. Still not clear what exactly happened. Now the ATF is helping investigate.
A study from 2024 found there was more than enough traffic to warrant stoplight at East Bellevue and Franklin. That is the intersection where a man and his wife were both killed just months apart. Andy Goldberg was hit and killed by a driver in May of 2024 while jogging. After her death, her husband Jerry launched a petition to have traffic signals put up there. Last week, he died in a crash at that very same intersection. Since January of 2024, 16 crashes have been reported there. In addition to those 2 that took the lives of the Goldbergs, at least 3 other crashes left people with injuries. But it's traffic volume that plays the biggest part in deciding whether traffic lights are warranted. And that study found in one 3-hour span, nearly 8,000 cars passed on Bellevue. That's 44 vehicles a minute. Cherry Hills is also working on a new traffic study to make sure conditions haven't changed in the 18 months since that study was done. City also wants to validate the previous study.
The U.S. Department of Education is now accusing Jefferson County Public School District of violating federal anti-discrimination laws, and it's threatening to punish the district over several policies regarding transgender students. The Education Department's Civil Rights Division says Jeffco Schools is violating the civil rights of female students by allowing transgender students to use school facilities and compete on sports teams that align with their gender identity. The Education Department also takes issue with the school district's policy allowing trans students to choose overnight school trip accommodations that match their gender identity. The feds say these policies disadvantage female students by, quote, denying them safety, dignity, and equal access. They say if the district does not overturn their policies in 10 days, Jeffco will face imminent enforcement action. We have reached out to the district. We have not yet heard back.